Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today, you can tell I'm dirty and in the garage again. We are actually going to start on the 1970 Mach 1. I'm going to start disassembling today so I can get everything together and start the restoration. You can see here kind of where we're at. I was playing a little bit there with my sander. Got a little rust spot on the hood. But you can see the car's pretty much where it was in the introduction video. I do have my rotisserie put together and ready for it. So today I'm going to be starting on the front end, pulling off the hood, fenders, grille, headlights, just as much as I can get apart today to start everything. But I do want to keep the vehicle drivable so I can at least pull it in and out of the garage as needed. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We're just going to get started right away. And if you guys wonder, I just have a huge tote over here. I'm putting all my bolts and everything in. So this can be removable. So spin this camera around to give you guys a view, not of me, but of the car. Now have all of that disassembled. You can see here what I was talking about, where the battery box and the inner fender are Bluetooth. Again, trying to keep the car drivable, enough not to drive on the street, but just to be able to back it in and out of the garage as needed. If I need to throw it in the trailer for a couple days while I work on another project or something, that'd be possible. Alright guys, so I found this pretty interesting. This was in this frame rail hole here, which had a cap to be able to access the bolt. And when I pull it out, this is what it looks like. So it looks like at one point it was actually welded in to be able to remove it easy, but obviously that's rusted and fell apart. So, but we did manage to get both of the bolts out. And let's throw a little more humor to this. If you look at the bumper bracket, which is, there, they have spot welded it to the frame of the car, so we've got to get that loose. Alright guys, so I was able to just give it a few back and forth pulls to be able to break the little bit of spot weld loose, but did bend the bumper bracket, which it already had a bend in it as well. Assuming it's been hit before, which, I mean, I knew that from the front bumper being bent, the grill being bent, all of that. That is now off, and we will continue trying to get the fender off the vehicle. Alright everyone, I am back to it on the Mustang finally. Took a little bit of a break, which you probably won't even notice that here on YouTube because I'm finishing up the first video of disassembly. So wanted to show you guys what the plan is for this evening. Looking at taking off the hood springs, hood hinges, getting out the washer motor, washer arms, and just kind of looking these plastic pieces here on the front and looking at a few other things that maybe we can get off the front. And then I'm going to jump to the back of the vehicle and start getting the tail lights, spoiler, trunk lid, window louvers, all that type of stuff out of the back. So let's get to it. All right, guys, so that should be about everything I'm going to take off the front from now. Like I mentioned before, I'm trying to keep it to where, you know, worst case scenario, I can pop it off of these wheel rollers and start it up and back it out of the garage and stuff like that. So trying to take off things that will not affect the mobility of it. For starters, obviously that's going to change, but that's pretty much everything that's coming off the front right now. I was able to get the wiper transmission out, wiper motor, the wiring for that. I did label the wires for the wipers so that'll be easier when it goes back together. Still got a mouse nest in there. Nice one. We'll focus on that when we get it outside. We'll clean that out. Yeah, so that's pretty much everything on the front that's going to come apart for now. So now I'm going to move to the rear of the vehicle. And working on the rear, like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to focus on getting the lights, the bumper, the filler neck for the gas, the spoiler, the window louvers, the deck lid, just kind of start disassembling all of that. I'm going to reposition the car, move a little bit of junk I got sitting here on my floor, and set up the camera and get started on that now. Alright guys, I do have the car repositioned now. Just kind of turned it a little so you can see it somewhat better in the video. And it's a little bit easier for me to work around it this way. So we're going to get the deck lid open. get the window louvers and stuff off and start getting everything disassembled. Alright guys, so you can see it's kind of a long stretch of video, but I will time lapse it. But you can see I've got the deck lid off, window louvers, tail lights, pretty much everything off the back of the car. Excuse me. Except for the filler neck, which is a little hard to get off without removing the gas tank, so we'll wait, and when we remove the gas tank, we'll go ahead and take that off. A little worried about this because there's definitely something over that, but you can see there is some rust there. Also a little bit there, and then on this side, I do have a pretty good sized rusty hole right there. So we'll work on that. Need to get that little piece out. Looks like a piece of a valance. But yeah, definitely moving right along on getting all this disassembled. Not going to remove the gas tank yet, so now I'm going to reposition the car and start working on interior panels and things like that.